like Kiss makeup and stuff.
I like Kiss makeup, but I'm not Catman, so I'm not going to do that. But more just stuff where, you know, we can add to the show, you know, in like more of a artistic and theatrical way, you know. So we had a cool idea of, you know, our song Immortal is about the perception and the creation of people who do mass atrocities. And it's not endorsing it by any means, but we had some really cool, like, Gwar-esque type of ideas.
Ooh.
Where, you know, we could get a little bit bloody, a little bit gory, but it would all be to allude to a point. You know, whatever we did, we want to make sure that it's not like this excessive, like, oh, there's a bunch of girls dancing. Why? I don't know. That's cool. They're dancing. That's a nice shirt. Oh, that's not, you know, like, you know, that sort of thing. I can see her butt.
Right.
Like that, yeah. You know what I mean? And granted, like, that's part of a lot of the bands that, you know, we love to listen to as well. So, you know, I'm not saying, hey, guys, you did it wrong, because I'm still in the crowd screaming my ass off or whatever. But, you know, everything we do, we want to make it mean something. So we're still in the process right now of, you know, obviously with developing the new music for the records that are going to be coming out. You know, we're still trying to conceptualize where we're going to go with that, but we just want to make sure that everybody at the show is banging their head, having a great time. You know, we're not a band that stands still. We're not one of those like I'm too cool to be here type of bands. And even if we were playing to like a crowd of 3 people, we're going to go with the same velocity and the same octane that we would have with a crowd of 500 plus.
I don't think that there is a way like or at least for me, and I imagine for you guys, to be playing our songs and not really get into it, you know? It's hard.
Yeah. Like, I love jazz and everything, but I can understand why you're kind of like calm when you're playing jazz. But, man, like, how do you just sit there and stand with your guitar up to your chin? Like, yo, man, I'm having a great time. You can't even bang your head. You're gonna break your jaw if you try to bang your head. I'm not naming anyone in particular, of course, but like I've seen that, and to me that doesn't make a lot of sense. And I'm not saying that you should have your guitar so low that you can't play it and you're just like kind of like dragging it on the ground because, you know, you want to be Mr. Cool Guy or anything, but that find a happy medium in between.
Oh, that reminds me of the first time I saw Meshuggah back in I think it was 2001, and they were starting to get big over here in the US. They hadn't really been here too often. They were opening for Tool, and they just kind of stood there and rolled their heads around so their hair spun in a circle, and that was it. And they did nothing else with the music. And I was like, well, the music's good, but they're not... I mean, it's so boring. And then later on, I saw them, I think it was 2008, at a ministry show, and they'd come a huge step further. They were walking around, they were doing stuff. It was such a big difference from just standing there, just spinning their head in the I'm a metal guy, and this is what I do kind of thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
I grew these long hairs for the reason.
Whenever you see a band going really hard besides the drummer and he's just hitting really soft, like a little fluffy fish.
That's always great.
I don't know if anyone else notices it, but it just bugs me.
Yeah, same.
You know.
There's a thing that we like to, we don't sit there trying to like pick apart a show and make fun of it. Mm-hmm. You know, supporting up and coming music is really important. Obviously, what seat we're in. But we notice some bands do this thing called a drummer face, and it's impossible to describe through the air because of the fact that there are simply no words that I'm aware of in the English dictionary that can describe this face. But if you just want to look, just look up any drummer, like early on, even your big inspirations and everything like that, and they will all have like this really focused and like I really want to I want to kill you and murder you and sever you, or like I'm really uncomfortable right now. Usually a mix of both. And it usually always involves a double chin of some kind. Even if they don't have a double chin, they will form one to complete the drummer face. Especially for breakdowns. Like, breakdowns is when their jaw opens up a little bit more and that double chin becomes more prominent. And it's pretty brutal. Like, and I'm not sitting there, It's true, though. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting there at, like, a mosh pit, like, avoiding the pit and going hard. Like, man, look at that guy's face. But, I mean, at the same time, it's still kind of funny. And then like bottle water chug right after that face. It's like face, bottle water chug, face, bottle water chug, stand up, throw sticks, face, repeat, hit. Yeah, I forgot that part. Yeah.
And drummers, I gotta hand it to you guys. Like drummers just get intense when they're really into it. Like we were talking about, like last week we had Serial Obsession here. Was it last week or was it?
No, it was 2 weeks ago.
Week before.
Yeah.
And we were talking about their drummer Motz. He's got this face. It's just like just real mean face when he's getting drums and just gets into it. And he's just like One of my early bands that I was in, our drummer, oh man, his eyes would just get huge when he was in a part he really liked. He would just have these huge eyes and this set to his jaw, and he would just be smashing the snare. He broke a lot of snares, but it was just to watch him do this kind of stuff, to really get into it. It was awesome, and it was just kind of like wow at the same time.
Yeah, this reminds me of something actually. In one of my older bands, someone bet me they would buy me a beer if I could have a staring contest with them through an entire song. My drummer eyes. I took them up on the bet and I won that beer.
Nice.
Right on.
We played through the whole song. I just stared at him with the creepiest face, and there's a photo of it. I actually made it my profile picture because it just looks so. But it was so worth it. That was a good.
That is a beer well earned.
Sean in the chat room from Maximus, he was talking about Rich.
Lars.
Yeah, Lars. Got the drum from a drummer. Yeah. Me and pronunciations don't get along. Reason why Spider is here. And he was talking about the drum.
Shout out to Sean Marquette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were talking to him through the air a little bit ago.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but Lars Ulrich, in my opinion, 100% serious by oath, hand on a Bible, is the drummer that you should always emulate your life.
Oh, yeah.
No, Metallica is one of my favorite bands. I love Metallica. And what he does for the band is, it's perfectly suiting. I couldn't imagine, as much as I'd love to hear this, like Mike Portnoy or something in Metallica. I mean, that would be insane.
Dude, he probably has played with them.
I'm sure they've hung out and probably jammed through the songs, but I wasn't there, so it doesn't really matter, But, so that's the real question: why wasn't I there? But any point, yeah, I don't know. Metallica.
I was going to say there's some disappointment in there somewhere.
I am a little bit, I tried to call their Skype,
And you guys have. Oh, sorry. I mean, we didn't interview guys.
You're good.
Okay. You guys have a fan called Morgan who's actually in the chat room. Say that her friend and her boyfriend are listening right now. They're big fans of you guys.
Cool.
They are from Venezuela. You guys are worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Hey, shout out to Agata Damon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shout out to her too.
She's really supportive.
Anybody else?
Yeah, go ahead. All the shout outs, you guys.
Venezuela?
In Venezuela? I'm not very sure.
I'd have to go through my phone book.
But, pretty cool.
Yeah, phone books, those are a thing. Not anymore. We have iPhones, We're not Neanderthals.
Shout out to Fidel Castro's brother. I don't shout out to him. He might be listening.
You never know.
He might have been fans, and now he's just like, Arkangela. Oh, I can't do a Spanish accent. But that's the gist of it.
If we could get Howard Stern right here, right now.
Oh my God! Do not, maybe. Oh my God! I would bow down to him and kiss his toes. Not really, but seriously,
I think that would cure your cold, probably.
Probably. Howard Stern, you will never hear this, but I will send money to your PayPal account right now. In the past, if you come in the present with the future. See, we're getting weird. We're getting like Doctor Who on this. But anyway, yeah, I will pay you in the past and the future if you come here right now. So I'm just going to throw that out.
Listeners, if anybody out there has any connections to Howard Stern, that's your challenge right now.
Yeah.
I want to play rock, paper, scissors through the microphone with him. It'd be a really good time.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. I have a few connections from my old radio, when I was a fan of radio stars, but I don't know, Scott Lander is a radio star, but he'll be all tinkle pink when I call him a star, but he was a star to me. And he's actually going to be listening to the show here later on, too. And I also have a friend called BJ Shea that's also out here in Seattle. He's we'll be listening and see how he likes the show, give his opinion. So it's kind of cool. So I would love to have Howard Stern to give some ideas. It'd be kind of awesome.
Or you know what? Honestly, forget Howard Stern, Bill O'Reilly.
Oh yes,
yes.
You want him here
I think him and Shells would get into a serious argument. That'd be pretty entertaining to listen to.
Man, that guy is so smart. Oh.
He is the best interrupter I have ever seen.
What? I've been watching him.
All he does is interrupt. You could literally say anything,
hold on.
but if you can't interrupt him. See, there you go.
So you're telling me?
All right. Yeah. Anyway, good old politics, man. We love politics as much as we love saltine crackers. And who really loves saltine crackers? I mean, with cheese are pretty.
Chili's pretty good too.
Yeah. Okay, but chili is not politics. Like, you can't equate it. This is not like one of those A equals B, B equals C.
Well, it depends on if you have somebody that's in favor of regular chili or in favor of white chicken chili. I mean, that might be political.
Okay.
It might get pretty intense.
Yeah, dude. Like, I came on here to talk, not to, hungry. And I really think it's going to be awkward when I'm like, so how did the band come? Well, yeah, back. I'll just go. Well, you want to make this?
We're on a band diet, you see. So I'm just.
Oh my god! All right, let's get back on.
Band diet of air.
Not on the ACD's tour diet where it's 2 slices of bologna and a bit of mustard in between.
And protein shakes. A lot of protein.
Okay, so we're
trying to keep it traditional but modern at the same time. We want to get endorsed by GNC. Like, that's the real one we're going. Like, forget all the music endorsements. I don't even want a record label. I just want to have our symbol on a big thing of whey protein. No, I'm kidding. That's
Arkangela.
Arkangela. Ooh, that is money.
All right, guys.
That is money.
I gotta take a small break, which is basically a top of the hour kind of a thing. So when we get back, I want to have the listener, your fans out there who's listening. We got a lot of fans here, by the way.
Yep, we've got some questions in the chat room. So when we get back, they'll have questions.
Yeah, so when we get back. So right now, I want you guys to introduce Master Sadness. Is that what it's called?
It's actually Mr. Sadist.
Okay.
I like that though.
That's one of those good screw ups. Like, we actually probably need to take the record back and redo the whole thing to do that. No, it's Mr. Sadist. So
okay.
The song is basically an introduction towards that whole mental illness side that is kind of a concept within the record, because the point of the mental illness existing in the concept is to imply a different perspective or a changed perspective, an adverse perspective rather. So, obviously, because these are things that normal people wouldn't say, normal people wouldn't think, but it forces you by flipping it in a way. So Mr. Sadist is a 2-character dialogue song about, almost kind of like the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. That's a little bit what it's inspired by. Of, where he is saying that, he's fighting for control, he wants to remain in control, he has, but he has these terrible thoughts in his head that tell him to do all of these, terrible, terrible things, and he himself, like the good person, has these thoughts as well, but it's kind of one of those things where, it's that trying conflict of character, in a way. So, he basically, in this song, he is facing that darker side of himself, and that's the strife that he faces, and we'll just kind of see where he goes.
All right, so I'm going to play a small tagline here, and then we'll get right to that song. So don't go away, guys. Be right back.
Woohoo! Let's Talk About the Music is starting.
What is Let's Talk About the Music, and why are you so excited about it?
It's a podcast with controversial talk and a global mix of music.
Oh, cool. How and where can I listen?
Just go to letstalkaboutthemusic.com and click follow to be sure to get all the info about the bands that are playing and see their music videos. Then click on Spreaker or iTunes to listen live and even chat with other listeners and the host herself.
What day and time is Let's Talk About the Music on?
Every Wednesday night from 8 p.m. to midnight Pacific Standard Time.
I think I'll tune in. Thanks for the info.
Listen in May 18th to Let's Talk About the Music, when the podcast will be all blues all night, with special guest blues musician Johnny Searfoss. It's all happening from 8 to midnight right here on Let's Talk About the Music, babies.